Welcome back, everyone, to Football Focus SG Podcast with myself, Faiz, and Mr. JB. Mr. JB, welcome back to our podcast and Happy New Year to you. How's it been for you so far?
Yeah, firstly, Happy New Year to you and to all the listeners, and to all our fans out there, if we do have fans. Thank you for listening
We
and
do have
supporting.
fans. Yep, very
Yep,
much.
so far it's been, football has been, topsy-turvy, 2023. But I guess that's the fun part of football. I guess if it's not, if everyone's winning and everyone's losing, it won't be as fun. So
That's true.
yeah.
That's true. I mean, at the moment, we are recording this in the New Year Day itself. So, let's summarize a bit of our 2023. I mean, to be fair, we did a couple of podcast between me and you. And then we finally get to introduce a different type of content, which is Football Manager inside the content as well. Playing fantasy draft with one another, especially the most recent, most hectic penalty shootout that we ever had. Spoiler alert. But yeah, people are watching or listening, you should go and check it out. But for you, Mr. JB, if I'll like to ask you this as a Man United fan, of course. All right. If If you can have one New Year resolution for Manchester United, what would it be for this year?
Wow. I mean, if there's one New Year resolution, I think we should go out and win at least the FA Cup.
Win the FA
Uh,
Cup. Okay.
yep, yep. I believe that's the only saving grace at the moment right now because
You're saying that if Ten Hag doesn't win the FA Cup, he's out.
no, no, no. I wouldn't say he's out, but I would say he has underachieved compared to what we have done last season, or compared to the work that he's done last season. It'll be a
Yeah.
step back. It'll be a step back for him and his staff because uh, as far as 2023 is concerned, we were out of the group stage of the Champions League, and not just out in that sense. We were at the bottom of the group. Uh, yeah, and then of course at the moment now our standings as well doesn't look good to even get a top four, even a top five in the Premier League finish. Unless something miraculously happen up there
Yeah.
between the top 4 or 5 teams right now. So yeah, so basically the only saving grace that we have right now, from the way I look at it, is to win at least a cup, and we're already out of the Carabao Cup, so we
Yeah.
are we are only left with the FA Cup. So yes, so I believe that should be the resolution Man United is setting, and at the same time, we should also start building right now. We really don't have the time to wait, uh, and as we are recording right now, it's January,
Yep.
so I do hope we can see some decent movement within the clubs,
Yep.
especially after the recent announcement of Sir Jim Ratcliffe's ownership and all that. So hopefully, with that in mind, hopefully sooner or later things will get in place, and hopefully we can see some movements in the transfer window.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully 2024 will be better than 2023 for Man United.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, for me as Arsenal fan, my one resolution will be now to some people they might say to win the league. Not all Arsenal fans are delusional. Okay. Just because we challenged for the title last season does not mean we should win already this season. Of course, I want it to be consistently challenged. Consistently challenged is probably going to be the benchmark for me. But top four is still my priority because, again, we are in the Champions League for the first time for almost 10 years or something like that. So, consistently on Champions League, consistently fighting for the title, be in the top level is all I ever want. Winning the title is an exceptional at this point.
Okay, okay. I mean, having said that, I have a question for you.
All right.
Uh, okay, if given a choice, right?
Yeah.
Would you rather win the league, or would you rather win the Champions League?
Ooh. You know what? I would say the Champions League. I would say the Champions League. I feel like Premier League, Arsenal is not ready yet. Champions League, at least we can do you can give a one good off performance in the final and win the whole thing. And just give one good off performance in the two legs, and that's it. But playing 38 matches so far in the Premier League, you can see it last season. Arsenal bottled it last season. We agree on that. So if you ask me, Champions League. If what would I prefer? Champions League, because it's something that Arsenal has never done before. And at least realistically, if they can turn up for that one day, it will be Champions League. Premier League, it takes consistent base of performance, which we're going to talk about in a moment because our recent performance isn't that great. We had 2 back-to-back losses with Fulham and West Ham. Well, similarly for Man United, unfortunately, I mean, you guys lost to Nottingham Forest despite winning Aston Villa before that. Interesting of a result that you guys have. But if you look at the table real quick, what do you think of it? Liverpool is first right now with 42, shared with Aston Villa. Of course, they have 1 game in hand later tonight against Newcastle. We have Man City behind on 40 points with 1 game in hand as well because of their FIFA Club World Cup. Arsenal is on 4th with 40, Spurs with 39, 1 point behind, 4th all of a sudden, West Ham 33, Man United in the 7 with 31 points. What did you make of it so far? Like, we are already reaching halfway through the season.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty interesting, especially Aston Villa being in the mix there. Um, but you have to give credit where it's due. I do feel that this season, Liverpool and Man City are still the one that is, you know, consistently getting results.
Yeah.
Arsenal has been consistently getting results, but now they are constantly dropping points, so that's a worry.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and Spurs as well. It's also another interesting team, and I have to give credit to them as well. I think what Ange has been doing to the team has been great. Even without Madison, who's out for injury and all that.
Yeah.
And now I'm happy to see Richarlison slowly starting to score again. Um, so yeah, I mean, interesting uh, situations happening at the top four, top five of the league table. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean the
but again,
title race is still wide open from the
yeah, for
looks of
sure.
it because it is 3 points gap from first to fifth as of now that we're looking.
Yeah. I mean, uh, it is what it is, and you're looking at what, another 19 games to go. So yeah, I mean, anything can happen. And furthermore, the upcoming AFCON and the Asian Cup,
Yeah.
yeah, players will be missing, and then January transfers. I mean, like I say, who knows, man? Um, that's the beauty of football, you know. But looking at it, if you ask me, prediction, yeah, I do feel that it's probably Liverpool or Man City's uh chance, I guess, to get the top spot as of now. As of now.
Yeah, true. I mean, to be fair, a lot of people say Liverpool has been, been on a bad receiving end for VAR this season. What they're doing right now is exceptional. And again, if VAR, let's say, were to get it spot on, I'm pretty sure they are miles ahead of us, probably. Like example, their controversial match with Spurs and also a controversial match with Arsenal. VAR was the main reason for it. And they did say Liverpool were to win those if it wasn't for VAR. Let's say if they win, then they will be miles ahead. But then again, I'm glad that they didn't. I'm sorry, Liverpool fans. But at least the title race is open for at least like 5 clubs at the moment. 5 clubs at the moment. Of course, not gonna discredit the rest. The rest can still catch up. Again, we are only midway. A lot of points can be, can be earned in the next half of the season. But realistically, now for you as a Menu fan, can you see Menu reach the top four?
Well, yeah, we can. I do feel we can. It's just that if we can't even get 3 or 4 straight wins in a row, then it'll be difficult. So for Man United problem, I believe it's a consistency. You can't be winning one game and then losing the next one, and then win again, and then lose the next one.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the goals that we are conceding is, I would say, it's horrendous at the rate that we are going. Although surprisingly, Onana has 6 clean sheets. I think one of the higher ones.
One of the
Uh,
more surprising stats, I would say.
yeah, so you know, but like I said, I mean, end of the day, you need to get consistency. So if you can't win 3 straight or 4 straight, then it will be very difficult for you to even get the top five even.
Yeah,
So
true.
yeah, I mean, especially looking at teams like Spurs and Aston Villa doing so well right now. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's tough. It's possible, but
All right. Now, this is where we're going to take a look at other leagues around, well, basically the five major leagues. No offense to other leagues, but we're going to look the other leagues halfway through the season now. Let's look at Serie A real quick in Italy. Inter Milan is still first with 45 points. Juventus second with 43 points. That's 2 points off. AC Milan third with a bit of a gap, 36 points. And then Fiorentina in the fourth with 33, Bologna with fifth, Atlanta with six. What did you make of the league so far?
well, I think that one is another, I would say, interesting to say the least. But then again, uh, I don't really follow that league closely, but just hearing from that, I think it's quite interesting. Especially who's the one in second right now?
Juventus, yeah.
Yeah, so uh, I do feel that Juventus, uh, despite their squad, I don't quite recall the average age of players that they have, but I do feel that they do have some senior age players over there. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I actually rooted for them to actually do well. Uh,
I actually did predict Juventus to win. I think we had one of the
yeah,
episode where we played
yeah,
like a prediction game, who's gonna win the league. You did say Inter Milan, I think.
that's right, that's right.
And I
Yeah,
stick with the old lady Juventus. So
mm-hmm.
it's a close race right now. Do you
Yeah,
still
yeah,
think
it is.
Inter will win?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's.
Ooh.
I think it'll be very, very close, but I still think that they can drop points. For some reason, and then because looking at their recent form, I believe I think in the past 4 games, I believe they lose one and draw one with 2 wins. And
Yeah,
then for Juventus, I think so far they've been winning at least 2 or 3 in the past 4 or 5 matches.
yeah.
So yeah, and I believe the recent one, I think the quite famous one was they won against Napoli.
Yeah,
So yeah,
which I'm gonna mention actually. Napoli has like the biggest drop I've seen so far after winning a league.
yep.
They are completely fallen off. They are okay, not completely that far off. They are eighth at the moment, but 28 points, and they're not even close to fighting for the title, let alone in the top four. So I don't know, like where did Napoli go wrong for this?
Uh, well, I think it's tough to say, but I mean, to be honest, no one would have thought Napoli would have started off flying. Um, but I guess it's one of those, like one of those fairy tale stories that only happen once and then that's it. Same thing like Leicester
Oh yeah,
and the likes. So yeah, probably that's probably what happened. Yeah, and also I do read somewhere they're having some back and forth issues with their striker Osimhen and all that.
yeah,
Uh, so yeah, so maybe that in a way affected. I'm not too sure. Maybe. So
yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, keep an eye out for Syria because it seems like it's a two-horse race at the moment. But again, anything can happen because we're still halfway through the season. Next up, we're gonna look up at La Liga now. Our last conversation, we talk about the surprise package of Girona, and guess what? Girona is still up there, same point with Real Madrid,
Yeah,
and this is in the mid-season.
brilliant, brilliant.
And you did say, you know what? I'm gonna say Girona's gonna win the La Liga. Why not?
Yeah,
Right now,
yeah,
they are the
yeah. That's right.
same
Why not?
points with Real Madrid.
That's right.
This is their year, like really.
Yeah, why not? I mean, like I said, why not? Huh? I mean, teams, have been. I mean, I'm always happy when I see surprises. Yeah, just like Aston Villa and all the other teams. So I mean, Girona, I mean, come on. You gotta give credit to them. I mean, the fact that they won Barcelona.
They
Yeah.
won Barcelona 4-2 in a very
Yeah.
big result there.
I mean, they won Barcelona away, mind you. They won
Yeah,
an away.
yeah.
So, I mean, you gotta give credit where it's due. I mean, yes, they lost to Madrid,
Their
right? They
only
lost to
loss so
Madrid.
far is to Madrid.
Exactly. Their only loss is only to Madrid. Yeah. The rest is, yes, a mix of draw here and there and everything else.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do feel they're doing well. Even in the Copa del Rey, I believe they managed to go through to the next round. I believe it should be the round of 32 or something like that. So yeah, I mean, looking at it, they are doing very well. So yeah, why not? I'll be more than happy uh for them to go all the way and give us a shocker of the La Liga in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think based on our previous or last conversation about prediction for La Liga, I think we mentioned like Barcelona was just somewhere behind them, and then we have Atletico Madrid who kind of like fall off. But now looking at the table again, Atletico Madrid managed to pick themselves up again, and now they're third on level with Barcelona at the moment. But can you see either Atletico or Barcelona gonna cause any fight into this title challenge, or is this just gonna be Real Madrid or the miracle makers Girona?
Oh, I mean, looking at the points, it's not that far. So yeah, so I do feel that both Atletico and also Barcelona will definitely go all out. They will definitely push through. Uh, just keep a look. I do believe that the top four standings right now will definitely change in the next uh like 1 month or 2 months or so, especially now with the January transfers and all that. You never
Mm-hmm.
know, man.
Yep.
You never know.
All right. All right. So we're gonna go to another league, Bundesliga. Again, our
Oh
last
yeah.
conversation now and our prediction. I think this is the only league that me and you have come to agreement that Bayer Leverkusen deserve. And at the moment, they are still
Yeah.
unbeaten at the moment. What did you make of it? Can you see Bayern Munich actually catch up in this league?
Ah man, I mean Bayern Munich. By right they should. On paper they are doing very well. So I do feel that by right they should be winning uh comfortably and should be at the top right now. But for some reason, uh they do stumble along the way. Uh so consistently wise, looking at it, I think you have to give it to Bayer Leverkusen, man. I mean, yes, Bayern Munich do stand a chance. The points isn't so far. Like, what's the
I mean,
gap
it's
now?
not
About
that
five
far. They
points?
only have one loss throughout the whole thing, and that is
Yeah,
against Frankfurt, I believe, in a demolition 5-1 out of nowhere.
yeah, exactly. So you gotta give them, some credit as well. And I do feel that they have like a game in hand right now. And if they were to win that game in hand, it's probably like what 1 or 2 points away from Bayer Leverkusen. So yeah, I mean, they are still the favorites.
Yep.
But I would love Bayer Leverkusen to do the upset.
Yeah, Bayer
So
Leverkusen, I feel like they deserve. I think Xabi Alonso did a wonderful job.
of course, man. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, you look at uh their squad. Like, I mean, come on. I mean, your man is there, Granit Xhaka, right there, man, right there. And I think
Cannot
it's a
believe
cap.
I'm saying this, but we Arsenal fan, we miss him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. Is he the captain over there? I'm not sure.
I think so. I think he might, but if not, he might be a vice captain there.
Yeah, So I mean, it's great, really. I mean, props to Xabi Alonso for that. I mean, and the team is really scoring. The team is not just winning 1-0 and 1-0. The team is really, really scoring. Like, they won 4-0, 3-0. Uh, you know, like a bunch of 4-0, 3-0 back to back. So yeah, they have no problem scoring.
Yeah.
By Leverkusen. So yeah, and the goals are coming everywhere. It's like Frimpong and the likes, and then it comes from who Ronaldo and
Like,
Tella, Jonathan Tah.
yeah, I mean, they
Yeah,
have like the Victor
so it's really coming
Boniface.
everywhere.
Like, Victor Boniface is their new
Yeah,
signing. He's a top scorer now. They also have
that's right.
Alex Grimaldo, who is one of the
Yeah,
best,
yeah, and also
or the best
the
wing backs there is, or yeah,
and also this Moroccan player that they got, right? Adli, Amine Adli or
or
something.
Amin
Yeah,
Adli,
he's
yeah, Amin
yeah,
Adli, yeah,
yeah, and he's doing well as well. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean props to Xabi Alonso for putting, where Bayer Leverkusen is. I do feel he is the next favorite in the market, for any other clubs looking for a
Oh,
manager,
definitely,
definitely.
yeah, definitely. If any manager gets sacked, he is the one that everyone's gonna contact next. So, of course, like every other league, we do have one surprise, a couple of surprises. We have Aston Villa in Premier League. We have Fiorentina and Bologna fighting for the top four in Syria. We have, well, Girona and their story. And this time, I don't know how can I put this, but this is Mr. JV's actual favorite Bundesliga team, if I'm not mistaken. VfB Stuttgart, third in the table at the moment, back to almost where they belong in the top four. What did you make of their season then?
Yeah, am very surprised you mentioned that Stuttgart. Yeah, uh, yeah. I mean, definitely a great season. I'm not sure where they finished last season, but I I
I
definitely I definitely don't remember top three.
No,
That's for
the
sure.
season before that they were 16. They were
Yeah,
they
yeah,
were playing a relegation playoff. They almost got relegated, but they won the playoff, so they stayed. But this season, they're
yeah,
third at the table in halfway through the season.
yeah. I mean, it's great because I believe, sometimes for certain teams, especially like Stuttgart and all that, sometimes you need a reset. And sometimes it's good when you're not playing so many competition. You can see that. So your main focus will be just on the Bundesliga. You give time to the coaches to really come up with a strategy and just focus on the league. And yeah, I'm really very surprised you say that because looking at the Stuttgart team right now, I can't even name anyone that I know at the moment who
All
is
right. I
playing
mean, you know
for.
what? I'll go through a bit of a squad player
Yeah,
list just to
sure.
see whether you know anyone of them.
Okay.
Looking at the keeper, I don't think you know any. He's all German.
Hmm.
Maybe the
Yeah.
closest will be Alexander Nobel. I don't think you know
Hmm.
him.
Okay.
Um, we have a defender, Dan Axel Zagadou, who I believe is a
Ah,
former
okay.
PSG, I believe, and
Yeah.
Dortmund. He was in PSG academy, yeah.
Right.
Um, their midfields, well, again, I don't think you know any one of them. You know what? You're
Exactly. Yeah.
right, actually.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
their strikers, I guess you might know only one or two. They have the Silas,
Mm,
Wamanggi Tuka, whatever the
yeah.
name is. I'm sorry, I think I butchered that. But
Yeah.
Silas. They have Dennis Undev.
Yep.
Dennis Undev, I
And
think on
yep.
loan from Brighton, I believe.
Yep.
Brighton, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, very underrated team at the moment. They are definitely one to watch because they are just 4 points behind Bayern Munich. Who
Yeah.
knows? It
Brilliant.
might cause a bit of a stir there.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah. Yeah. And also RB Leipzig as well. Just
Yeah, they are
lurking
above
behind.
RB Leipzig and Dortmund, which is
Yeah. Yeah. That's quite an achievement. Yeah.
yeah,
And yeah, definitely. I think very very interesting to see how this whole thing shapes up. Especially this January transfer. There are rumors saying that Sancho might go back to Dortmund, but you
yeah,
never know. Never know.
that's true. All right. Now normally I will go to Liga, which is the French league, but no offense. PSG is on top with a bit of a gap. There's no surprise. There's no need for us to talk about it really. So you know what? I'm actually gonna go to Liga Portugal because they have always a very interesting league with more than one team capable of winning. Sporting Lisbon is first with 37 points. Benfica second with 36. Porto with 34. Close battle. Who do you support?
Wow. Man. Let's see. Wow, that one is pretty tough, tough call there. Um, okay, who do I support? Let's see. I've always fancied Porto last time, but I think Sporting is also a soft spot at the same time Benfica. So it's always
It's always
among
those
these three.
three, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it has always been these three. But
But we
I
have
don't know,
Braga
man.
at the back with 32 points on fourth.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I mean, looking at it, I'm kind of leaning towards Benfica.
Ooh,
Uh, yeah, because they have Angel Di Maria. World Cup winner.
Of course, your
And
favorite.
yeah. And also they have that player that I actually wanted to sign for my team during the Football Manager, but I couldn't get him, and that's Peter Musa.
Yeah, Peter
Uh,
Musa. Yeah.
yep. So yeah, so I'm kind of leaning a little bit towards Benfica.
All right, all right.
Yeah. What about you? Like, who do you think would?
I'm actually gonna predict Sporting to win the whole thing because again they
Okay.
have a lot of talented players and I feel like they deserve to win. One of my favorite players so far over there is Victor Gyökeres, the Swedish forward right now
Mm-hmm.
over there. Seems to be doing well. They
Uh-huh.
have Marcus Edward, who is a young Englishman who's doing well there. Yeah, they have a great defensive as well, like Usman Diomande. I think we used him in
Mm-hmm.
one of our fantasy
Yeah.
draft that we
Yeah.
battled. And he's quite good as well, honestly. So yeah, if you ask me, I think Sporting CP or Sporting Lisbon is gonna be the one to win for me. That's my prediction. Sorry, Porto or Benfica. Nothing against Porto, but I don't know. Like I think Taremi is still there for Porto. Yeah, Taremi is still there. Ivan Nilsson is still there. They have a lot of same players that they used to have back then. They might cause a bit of a stir, but this will be a very interesting league to watch. And we're gonna look back at our prediction by the end of this. So with that, of course, yeah, we're gonna finish things off with a bit of SPL, Singapore Premier League. Like we are Football Focus SG. The name is SG there. We have to talk about Singapore a little bit. With the season end as Albirex winning, new season might come up in months' time. What are your expectations from the upcoming season for the Singapore Premier League? If you have one wish from the next season.
Well, I really hope that the 10th club that they say is gonna join the league will eventually come true. Yeah, I believe we definitely need that. Uh,
Yeah,
more
but who's
clubs.
gonna be the
Yeah.
10th club, by the way? Like, did they say who?
Well, I can't quite tell. Well, I can't quite tell who is the next 10 one, but yeah, I do feel that it can be anybody. I mean, of course, I'll prefer from the past seasons like Warriors, or
Yep.
yeah, or probably yeah. At the moment, I can only think of probably Warriors. Uh, is probably the one that has a fighting chance. Yeah. So basically, I mean, just any teams. Although ideally, I feel that SPL should have at least, as in our Singapore league, should have at least 12
Yeah,
teams at least.
yeah.
I feel.
I feel like definitely should have
Yeah.
at least 12 with like, have a mini second division, like just 4 5 teams, sure.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
let
But
them play each other a lot of times. And then top two relegate top two from bottom go up. That's it.
yep. So it's a bit unfortunate that we couldn't get 12. So since they're offering 10.
I mean, I guess 10 it is. I mean, is better than nothing.
Yep.
But
Yep.
at the
Why
same
not?
time, like, I mean, I really wish that honestly, I feel like football, like when we talk about, remember the Super League incident that everyone was talking about? No relegation.
Yeah.
Everyone just fight for the
Mm-hmm.
top prize. Wherever
Yeah.
your standing is, that's your amount of money you get. And then they're gonna have like a draft, like American draft season where the lowest team can pick the best players, stuff like that. Look
Sure.
how like they don't need to look further of how boring that league can be. No offense, Singapore league can be a bit boring. Not saying that there's no relegation and promotion wise, but look at our league as an example. There's no relegation or promotion through many years. And he has been dying off slowly because you just see the same team fighting with the same other team over and over and over and over again. So
Yeah.
having additional team is definitely what's needed in the league. I truly believe having like a bit of relegation and promotion, have a bit of that bragging right to the fans on one another is what gonna bring the fans back.
Yeah.
But my one wish for next season SPL will be to have an actual proper title race. I don't want a no longer 2 horse race and all that. I want it to be like an actual fun, like how you see Premier League, 5 teams. in the mid-season, and they are all close to one another. Meanwhile, us, we will have like the top two just by themselves, and the bottom six are just on
Yep,
their
that's
league.
right.
So
Yep.
so we want to have a bit of that, we want to have a bit of that. But of course, hopefully the FAS could actually do something about it. We can only hope as fans. So with that being said, before I wrap things up, I do want to give a quick announcement. First of all, I do want to say thank you all for watching and listening to our podcast throughout the whole of 2023. And this year, 2024, we're going to try and make as much content as we can. Going to try be consistent with it. There will be upcoming games and challenges that me and Mr. JB are gonna go through. Example one of it will be we're gonna challenge ourselves in a Football Manager FM rebuild challenge, which you guys gonna check it out after this podcast probably. Yeah, where I gonna take a club versus Mr. JB taking another club and see who can rise to the top. And if you guys do enjoy today's podcast and this episode, don't forget to press a like, comment down below what you guys think, subscribe as well. And we'll see you guys next time. Happy New Year again, Mr. JB, and Happy New Year, everyone. Take care, everyone.